Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Bushwhacking with Craigers. I'm taking an afternoon hike out with my daughter, Emmalyn.
Hello.
Hey, there she is. First time on camera.
Yeah.
We are traveling down the snowmobile trail, D111, down towards, connects from Moonlight Beach to the southeast bypass. The one that comes out, it's a Highway 69 anyways. It's approximately a 10 kilometer trail. A little hard packed, a little rough in sections. Just a few hills. They're not too bad. It gets flatter in some areas. It's a well-groomed trail in the winter time, and in the summer it's well, reasonably enough you can walk and hike on. A lot of people come out and have some fun. Hopefully we can see some wildlife, check out some sights along the way, and have a good time. See you later. So Emma, first time out on the trail. How you feeling so far?
Tired. Feet are kind of sore, but I'm good.
Emma's breaking in her new footwear. She's got a new hike coming up next week for school.
At Lake Laurentian.
Picked her up a new pair of hiking shoes.
Yep.
Now we're trying to break them in this beautiful trail-like scenery here. It's a little on the swampy side. We've had quite a bit of rain the last couple of days, so the trail's a little mucky and it's going to be a little adventurous to get around, but it should be fun. This is some of the trail conditions we have to look forward to. Nice and muddy. It's passable in some areas, but
some areas,
what a way to break in her new shoes.
In some areas, you just have to get all dirty.
Well, we're out on the trail and we came across a couple of animal tracks and animal droppings so far. Some of them look like, a lot of the tracks look like just dog and coyote. One of the droppings look a little bit like coyote. And then we found a cute little raccoon print in the dirt. I'm assuming it's raccoon. Somebody please help me identify, but pretty cute looking anyway. Emma's come across a couple of little tadpoles in the pond here.
They're very tiny.
Hopefully we can get some close-ups here for you.
Some are a little bigger, and then some are like really small. And then a few over here are just hanging out in the water. And
little baby frogs in the making.
And I also saw water spiders too, right here. They're like gliding across the water.
Oh yeah.
And there's also one right there.
Probably water striders.
Probably.
Cute.
Oh, look how many tadpoles there are.
Yeah. Oh.
Dad, look.
Am I getting it?
Look, there's a tadpole right there, and it's like really small.
Active little buggers today. Alright everybody, check this out. So about maybe a third of the way down the trail, I've come across this before. This used to be, it's the foundation of what I would assume was either some kind of building or storage shed or little house or what.
Cabin.
But
Yes.
This is just the coolest foundation ever. It's still fairly in good shape. Some of the walls are tipping in a little bit, but I've camped out in this spot a few times already and no issues. There's a spot to string up a hammock in between a couple of trees in the back. But I would say it spans about a good 20 by 30, 20 by 40 maybe. Doesn't look like there's any other indications of a house or cabin or what, but still nevertheless really super cool. There is a very sleek opening right here, fairly large. Looks like it would be like a garage door of some kind. But I mean, you can see it's clearly right off the trail. The main trail is right there. So at one point in time, I'm assuming this could have been an old little trade route of some kind, but nevertheless, awesome. Awesome to camp out on.
It's me.
I've created a little campsite here. This is going back about 4.5 years ago, and apparently it's still in good shape. Here's the little rock ring that I made. My wood pile from 4 or 5 years ago. My little rock stool.
So, this is awesome.
If I had more people together, it would be a rock band. Haha.
Yeah, I get it.
So I asked Emma how what she could use to start a fire in them if she had to.
What I'd use to make a fire is you can use like if you had like a rock, and if you had like a stick or something, you can use this, and then you can put it together, and you can like grind it or like rub them together, and then they can make sparks. And then you can, when it lights fire, you can put it in the fire pit. Or say if this was lit and that wasn't, you can put that in there, and then it'd light, and then you would have a fire that way.
Emma's come up with a lot of really good ideas. Either rubbing 2 sticks together, using birch bark, or using natural elements that are around. What I've come up with, and this is courtesy of many YouTubers, Corporal's Corner, Corporal Sean Kelly, Dave Canterbury from the Pathfinder Survival School, and a few others. This is a fire kit. This is what I use. In here I have my Ferro rod. It's a Ferrocerium rod. I have, from left to right, is my Ferro rod. I have my
Wood.
My fire starting wood. There's a couple of fire starters. I have jute twine. Of course, my trusty handy dandy Bic lighter. 550 paracord. This is actual paracord with the fire core in it. There's 7 different strands of cord in here. You could use some of them for fishing, for sewing. There's also the inside layer you can use for fire starting. I've got my knife. I've got a couple of lighters. My bellows, extendable bellows. So when I actually do get embers in here, I can just blow in the end and start a fire. Also great for blowing little tunes too. And then these are just dollar store fire starters. My favorite handy dandy tool, my Ferrocerium rod.
It's a lot of stuff.
So what I do is I take out my handy dandy jute twine.
Yes.
And some birch bark.
I need this.
Shave off a little bit of my resin wood here.
Yes.
This is soaked in pine resin. So very highly flammable. It just takes a couple of sparks to get it going.
Oh wow.
All you need is a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, and you shave it off.
And that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
And then you...
And then you'd have your sticks laying around, your little tinder.
Uh-huh.
What you could also do is take out a bit of jute twine.
With that?
Yeah. This is also very highly flammable.
I can tell. It looks flammable.
And just pull it apart.
That's it?
Pull the strands apart.
Yeah. So you just like unravel it?
Yeah, you just unravel it, just like that.
Whoa.
And then you just make a little bird's nest in here.
Yeah. And then you just...
You need all the little bits you can. Why don't you go ahead and unravel this one?
Okay. I'll do the honors in doing it.
Make it a nice little bird's nest.
It feels like very knotted here.
And then you take your tinder wood, little sticks and pieces of grass, whatever you have available.
Near you?
Yeah.
I'll make sure.
Okay. with your ferro rod in one hand. You just simply takes a little bit of practice.
It's scary.
But you can usually get. There you go.
Ah!
And then you put your sticks on top.
You did it. I felt like you were going to burn your hand.
Congratulations, we have fire.
Yeah. Falling in.
Our dear Emmalyn has made the plunge. This is the area we were trying to get through. We thought it was solid enough ground.
And
however,
no. Poor me.
Apparently not.
I slipped into the puddle and I have fallen. Now my foot is soaking wet.
So you can see behind me, we finally made it to Perch Lake. We're on the eastern part of the lake. It's a smaller lake that sits on part of the Lake Laurentian Conservation Area as well. You can get access to it that way or through this trail that we're on, the snowmobile trail. In the winter, the trail cuts right through the lake. Apparently there's some decent fishing in here too. A lot of people are catching small pike and bass in here, smallmouth, perch. I've never caught anything in it, but I guess there's always a first for everything. So tonight's dinner a la surprise is shepherd's pie.
Ooh!
Didn't think you could kick out in the bush, eh?
No!
So everything is made dehydrated prior to coming in. Need a few simple ingredients. I have my little backpacker stove, small little Amazon. It's isobutane. Again, a little Amazon special. Has a little igniter on it, so you don't have to worry about carrying around matches or light or anything. This piezo igniter, click it, we'll light it up in a second. Nice little measuring cup, measuring pot, a couple of graduations in there so you know how much water you're putting in. And with the lid, that is courtesy of Ramaco's. Has a little vents on the lid. Nice little handle on there, perfect for cooking in. Dinner is dehydrated vegetables. Dehydrated ground beef.
But you can
cooked and spiced the way you want it.
You can dehydrate ground beef? Ground beef?
Yep. And then a little package of
mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes. I chose the garlic ones, but you can pick whatever ones you want.
Okay.
So, step one, very simple. You boil about 2 cups of water. I usually boil a whole pot because you need a lot to rehydrate your veggies. And then you mix everything in a pot. I got a large enough pot we can mix everything in. So we'll try that in a few minutes.
Pot.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
And we're back. So the next step in backcountry cooking was Chef Krieger's. Not a chef. We boiled our water. Now I'm going to add a little bit into the pot here, the bag of dehydrated meat. You want a little bit, enough to barely cover your meat. And then we'll let that sit for about 10 minutes or so till it's rehydrated. Do the same thing with the veggies. And then we'll show you the next step about making the mashed potatoes.
Yay!
And then dinner's going to be ready.
Thank God.
When you're using these bags, it's best to use the freezer bags. They're a lot thicker and they withstand the boiling water a lot better. And then we simply put them back in. If you have an insulated bag, put them back in to rehydrate. It maintains the heat and allows you to rehydrate your food a lot faster. So we'll do that. This is my woods bag. It came in with another cook set that I bought. But I'll use that for this and show you the next step in about 10 minutes or so.
Bye-bye.
Stick around. While we're waiting for supper to get ready here, Emma's reading about different survival techniques and tips and tricks out in the bush. We picked that up at the French River Trading Post for my Father's Day gift a few years ago.
It's Wilderness and Safety Skills book with cards about different animals in case, well, you encounter them and you need to do stuff without getting eaten by them.
Emma's foot is drying up quite nicely. She took a little spin in the mud earlier.
Yeah.
And decided to make a little smiley face design on the...
And there's an inchworm on my shoe, I think. And there's a bug.
There's an inchworm on her shoe.
Yeah. It was very...
And we're back. It's been about 10 minutes. The veggies and the meat are nicely rehydrated. Now it's time to make the mashed potatoes. Stick it on top and enjoy. And just like that, dinner is served. Bushcraft shepherd's pie. We got our meat, we got our veg, we got our mashed potatoes, and now we're gonna eat.
Good.
If excuse me, I'll be back in a few minutes. So we finally made it out. We are on the Highway 69 bypass. Here's the snowmobile tunnel at the end of the trail. Carry on further onto the tunnel as the rest of the snowmobile trail. But we're only going as far as here today. Emma's never been to this section before, so she's excited.
I'm very excited to be in the tunnel. And I'm
going to show you what it looks like from a little closer up here. She's happy, she's fed, she's full of mud. Well, half her anyway.
Well,
the other half is pretty dry, but...
We have seen a lot of dragonflies. Every, up, down, left, and right. It's like closing.
And here we are in the tunnel.
Can you go all the way at the end? Yes! Bye! I'm going. Oh my god, it's very echoey.
Right above us, I don't know, you can hear the echo in here.
Yeah.
Every now and then you can hear the vehicles drive over tops. That's pretty cool. Our ride should be here in about 15 minutes.